All right. All right, guys. So you saw the link, right? You saw the link in the chat. I pinned it up too. I pinned it. The link, right? The link is in the chat. If you guys want to join, please join. I have a few videos, right? A few TikTok videos that I want to play and we could react to, right? I will. This is this is probably the format, right? Where we're gonna play the video. I'll give my thoughts and opinions, and then I'll let you guys, if you guys join, I'll let you guys react. What's your thoughts on the videos that I'm sharing? All right, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be interesting. Give it a few minutes. Give me a few minutes. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for joining. All right. All right. Big bars. Big bars, my brother.
What's up, brother? How you doing today? My bad. I was trying to unmute.
It's all good. It's all good. Thank you. Again, if you guys do want to join, link is in the chat. All right. So, like I said, if you guys want to react to the videos with me, I'm down with it. Right. I always love my brother sharing some opinions. It's all good. Right. So, let's get started. Let's check out. Okay. All right. So let's get started. All right. Let's get started with the first clip tonight. A lot of good movies right there. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that video, my brother. That's why there's a lot of good movies, the old school stuff. I'm not crazy about new school stuff. I'm not really crazy about the movies that are out right now. So it's sad. It's sad. All right. Let's check this one out. Let's check this first clip out.
Me and my 3 kids could vanish off the face of the earth, and it'd probably take like 3 weeks to a month for someone to notice that, like, that's how, like, alone we are, and it's so painful. I just don't understand why, like, we're not enough for anyone to stick around and fight for. And everybody's like, oh, you'll find somebody will come along that will love you and your kids, but it's like, is it even worth taking the risk of them running when shit gets hard, or feeling like we're too much? I feel like we're too hard to love, or like I feel like I'm not deserving of it because I'm not perfect. I never wanted to be a dad. I was made to be a mom. But like, there's nobody coming to save us. And they're having the time of their lives. Me and my 3 kids could vanish off the face of the earth, and it'd probably take.
So I wanted to show this video because I'm going to show tonight a bunch of clips that are showing women's mistakes in life when it comes to dating, right? Particularly when it comes to dating, women's mistakes, women's misconceptions, how women go about dating wrong. Here's a woman that relatively, she doesn't look bad. I mean, from what, kind of what you could kind of see, she doesn't look bad. She looks cute. But this is the problem with a lot of women, where at the end of the day, it's who you choose. You chose said men. You chose the man you gave kids to. Sounds like she gave 2 kids to this one man, and it didn't work out. But guess what? This is the problem, okay? You should have known this to begin with. You gave 2 kids to a man, and it didn't work out. Well, that says a lot about you. It says a lot about who you pick. It says a lot about, your judgment and character. And I said this: women never have a hard time. Never. It doesn't matter if you're fat, ugly, pretty, skinny, old, young, a baby mama, or no kids at all. Women will always have options. Women will always have men out there that would want them. The problem is, do you have men that you want? Right? That is the problem. Are you going to find a man that you want to be with? And a lot of times, a lot of women can't. They can't find the man that they want to settle down for them. So women like this are essentially just crying because the men that they want won't be with them, won't stick with them, won't, choose them. So, and that's the problem with, I see a lot of times where women have really poor picking skills. Women have poor picking skills. So this is why I find that this is these crying sessions that women love to do online as stupid, as useless, because honestly, it's your fault. You are 100% to blame. You should, perfect. No one's asking, right, for a perfect woman, right? Maybe the man you gave kids to wanted a certain type of woman and that you weren't, but you should have figured that out already. Yo, Sean, what's up, my brother? What's up? You should have already figured that out, but you didn't care, right? You gave your body to a man that honestly you couldn't stand the test of time with. You didn't even marry the man most of the time. So no one to blame but yourself. And I hate it that women, they want to gain sympathy. Say, oh, there's no man that wants me. No, there's no man that you want that wants you. That is your problem. Bars, what do you think, my brother? What do you think?
I think that it's messed up because a lot of women's mothers have failed them, and as long as women don't take any accountability, our society is going to continue to fail. I feel, because it's like the mothers are single mothers, and we're not even going to talk. Everybody wants to talk about a woman picking wrong, and everybody wants to talk about all these bad fathers and stuff, but nobody wants to talk about all of the women who leave a good man who's doing everything, who is a good father, who leave them to get some child support money. So I mean, we just got to talk about. I mean, to be honest, we have to look at the whole picture. I think we're stuck in maybe like the 80s, and we need to come to the 2000s. It's the time, in my opinion.
Yeah. And that's the thing where women got to wake up, right? And in the 2000s, in 2025, women have all the rights. They have all the power. They're the ones who pick who they will lay with, right? They are the one who pick. Women are the ones who pick who they give kids to, who they give their bodies to, who they give their time to. There's no father out there picking who you will marry, right? Let alone picking who you have sex with. So at the end of the day, no one to blame but women, okay? It is accountability. You chose the man you chose, okay? And that's the problem. You either choose better or suffer from your consequences. That's just how it is. So that's a sad thing that a lot of women are going to have to live with and deal with, but that is reality. And this is the problem where a lot of women need to wake up. Wake up, okay? Because if you want 100% control of your life, right? You have the equality. You're just as, equal as a man. Well, you're going to suffer the consequences from choosing how your life will go about. So it is what it is.
Yeah, that's why I say they're children. That's why I say they're children, because they want they want the power but they don't want to deal with the responsibility of dealing with the consequences. It's like, and my thing is, this is why I look at the government. I'll call it a hierarchy as working against the population, because any analyst worth their salt can tell you what will happen if you continue to go down this road, and they continue to. It's no correction. It needs to be correction. And also, I think it's weird that it's like a Stockholm syndrome. They're like they become the hostage becomes the captor type thing that's going on. That I feel, they get a little bit of power and they running with it, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep, no one to blame but themselves. All right, let's try this one out. Let's check this one. Let's check this clip out.
The conversation around dating standards for women who are dating men is so funny to me, because if you were to list out all of your standards, the internet's going to be quick to say, like, oh, good luck, that's going to be like 0.01% of the population. Good luck, bye.
I mean, like, I said this, right? I said this before. If I could, I would. Right? I mean, hell, gay men are doing better than ever, right? Gay men are doing better than regular men, right? So what can I say? The gay men have higher marriage rates, low divorce rates, but the sad part is that I find men ugly, right? So it is what it is. We can't do it. So what?
The conversation around dating standards for women who are dating men is so funny to me, because if you were to list out all of your standards, the internet's going to be quick to say, like, oh, good luck, that's going to be like 0.01% of the population. Good luck finding someone. And here's the thing, I meet all of my own standards. I know it is possible to meet all of my own standards, and to find people who meet all of my own standards, because I meet them. And I'm not particularly exceptional. I think I'm a good person. I think I've done well, but I'm not like some anomaly. And that goes for all the basic stuff, right? Like higher earning career. I'm in a higher earning career. I want someone else who is in a higher earning career. Physical fitness. I'm jacked. I want someone else who's jacked. Political ideologies. I'm progressive. I care about these political and social causes. I want someone else who also cares about that. Hobbies. I like to read. I like plants. I have hobbies. I want someone else who has hobbies. The list goes on, right? And this list, if you were to put it in some like probability generator of how likely you are to find someone that meets all of them, it's going to be really low. But I'm not going to lower them just because of the low probability, because frankly, I'm happy the way I am. And it's just so funny to see comments on social media when people talk about this stuff. They're like, you're never going to find a man. So what? Love is great and it's important and relationships are fantastic, but it's not worth lowering the standards that you yourself have worked so hard to meet just to accomplish it. The conversation around dating standards.
So the next part is that I wanted to talk about women's standards, right? We talk about it plenty of times, and I've said this countless times before. I believe everyone should have standards. I don't care, right? Man or woman. I definitely believe men need to have standards. I think men have such low standards. It is really idiotic. But I do believe that everyone should have standards. The problem is with a lot of women and they can have standards whatever they want, right? Whatever standards you want, great for you. Awesome for you. But does your standard make sense for you? Okay. Does your standard make sense for you? Here's a woman that says, oh, I want a man that has higher earning. I want a man that's athletic. I want a man like this. Da, da, da. Great. That's what you want. And you are within your right to have your standards. But the problem is, and why a lot of men say, oh, you should lower your standards, or, good luck finding that rare ass man. Because do you meet those men's standards? Do you meet those men's standards? The men that you want, do you meet them? Because here's the thing where a lot of women don't realize. Jefferson, what's up, my brother? What's up? And I forgot to say, Keith, thank you for stopping by, my brother. Is that a lot of women have become the man that they want. A lot of women have become the man that they want. And guess what? Well, the man that you want don't want that. They don't want men. They don't need men that are equal to them, right? They don't need women that are equal to them. They're not looking for that. They're not looking for that. And this is the problem where women don't focus on that. We don't focus, what does the man that you want? What does he want? You may know what you want, but a lot of times, a lot of these women do not know what the men they want. What do those men want? Okay. And that is the problem that a lot of women are falling under, where, oh, I meet my standards. I mean, great. You meet your standards. Means what? Do you meet other men's standards? Right? Men are not asking you to have 6 figures. Men are not asking you to be jacked. Right? Do you meet other men's standards? And that is the problem that a lot of women seem to not understand. Okay? Where you can have standards, but why your standard is unrealistic is because you have this high standards for the top tier man, right? You have the standard for top tier man. But guess what? Most women do. Most women have those standards. So now the man that you want, he has so many women to choose from. So many women to choose from. Well, why would he choose you? Why does he want you? What about you? It's so amazing that he will pick you instead of other people. What? Because you meet your own standards? Means nothing. Mean nothing. And this is the problem where a lot of women don't realize competition. They don't realize that because they chose the men they want. Well, now they have to compete for other women that want those men. And I give her credit that she said that, whether she finds a man or not, it's not a big deal. Great. But a lot of women, this is why studies are showing that a lot of women will, by 2030, will be more single than ever before. More women will be single and childless. So if this is the world that women want to, live through, great. This is the consequences of women's actions like we were talking about. This is the thing where women are going to suffer from said consequences. What do you think, my brother?
I think like that video you shared earlier where the woman's like, well, who cares what men want? Who cares? I don't understand that. That's like the stupidest way of thinking. You want a man, you should care what a man wants. You sitting there talking about, oh, who cares what a man wants? I do whatever I want to do, and that's Jezebel. That's Jezebelian. You know what I'm saying? That's not nothing. No man of substance wants a woman to just want to do whatever she wants. I think they really need to start listening to what logical men want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about extremists. I'm talking about logical men that are just saying something and they need to get their feelings out of it. Really, which is, come on, will that ever happen? Who knows? But they need to get their feelings out of it because somebody needs to be able to. They need to be able to have conversations with people. And they don't need to just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do." That's crazy. That's crazy. So I don't understand that, man. You want a man. You want a man that's so much better than you, but you don't care what men think. Like how does that work? And even her, she's like, oh, well, this and that and the third. Women need to understand that they have had affirmative action helped women more than it helped minority men. It helped minority women because they were women and minorities. So that's why they got the upper. All this stuff. I think all this stuff was done by design, and which is weird to me. It's weird. It's very weird to me because I was raised in a certain climate that this stuff is bizarro land. It's crazy. It's weird. It's weird.
I agree. Poor man, any thoughts?
Not really.
Okay. All right. But thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
And like I said, right? If you guys want to react to videos with me, link is in the chat. Right? I pinned it too. So if you guys want, I'm down. I want to do Wednesdays as call-in so you guys could, express your thoughts, have any opinions. I'm down, right? So you guys, any guys are free to express themselves. I love to give my brothers chance to express their voices and stuff. All right, let's check this another video out. Now, this is 2 clips, right? 2 clips that I kind of think goes hand in hand with each other. So I want to play this one. I'm going to say a little bit about it, and then we'll play another one. I'm going to say a little bit about that one, and then I'll let you guys any thoughts of it. All right, let's check this out.
I swear, being a girl is so hard for me because I'm when certain guys come to me, like I be offended. Like it's just like when guys are trying to talk to me, I'm like, why do you think that you can even approach me? But then when guys don't try to talk to me, I'm like, oh my god, is something wrong with me? Like, am I doing something wrong? Or like, do I not look cute today? Like, it's so complicated. I swear, being a girl is so complicated because I'm just sitting here thinking about how when certain guys come to me, like I be offended. Like it's just like when guys are trying to talk to me, I'm like, why do you think that you can even approach me? But then when guys don't try to talk to me, I'm like, oh my god, is something wrong with me? Like, am I doing something wrong? Or like, do I not look cute today? Like, it's so complicated.
So this is the thing where the first one, right? I talked about how women are terrible at judging men. Terrible at judging men. Second one is women's standards are really screwed up. They're whack, right? They don't make sense in reality sense. And here's this one where women actually just make dating difficult. Dating difficult, okay? So because to women, how would you even know? How would you even know that you are on her level to talk to her? How would you even know that? And that's the problem with a lot of women. They make it seem like, a lot of women's eyes, most men are beneath them. Most men are beneath them. So really, you just make shit hard. You make shit hard, and you give this energy out where it's going to detract a lot of men. A lot of men are just not interested because if men see that, okay, women are curbing men left and right, why would any man think that, oh, you know what, I'm going to do it? Why would any man want to be in the situation where he gets rejected? Not even top tier men love getting rejected. Okay. So you think that men are desiring to just jump on board and trying to holler at women regardless? No, this is why a lot of men are, you know what, now it's like, okay, especially top tier men, if they want to sit back, you're going to have to actually go up to them. And that's what a lot of women are feeling. And this is why a lot of men are not approaching. Okay. Particularly, I think good men, quality men, they're not approaching, and women are feeling the effects of it because of this one too.
Here's a question for other men. What stops you from asking a girl on a date? Because it's been 3 years and nobody has knocked on my door. Nobody has knocked on my door. Nobody has slid in my DMs. Which I'm scared. This is a question for other men out there. What stops you from asking a girl on a date? Because it's been 3 years and nobody has knocked on my door. Nobody has knocked on my door. Nobody has slid in my DMs. Which I'm scared of.
And this is what women are going to deal with. This is what women are going to deal with. Okay. More and more men are just like, they're done. They're tired of this. They're tired of the games that women play. More and more men are tired of the games that women play. Whiskey, what's up, my brother? Thank you for stopping by. They're tired of it. Okay. Guess what? The only men that don't care are usually the creeps. Usually the bad guys, right? Bad boys, the bad men, the men that are creepy, those guys don't give a shit. But guess what? Quality men, good men, some even top tier men, yeah, they're tired of this shit. They're tired of the games women play. Do you want men to approach women or do you not? Because women give these mixed signals constantly with these mixed signals, okay? And constantly calling, men that approach are creep. Well, that's why men don't do it. Men that approach are, harassing women. That's why men don't do it. Men are tired of the games that women play. And both of these two women are attractive women, very attractive women. Yet now one is complaining that, why are some men not approaching me? Because you curb pretty much when men see you curb men are not desiring to be a part of that. So that's why some men don't even try. And then another woman is like, men don't even bother because men, honestly, if they think you're like above level attractive, which both of these two women are about probably a 7, right? 7, maybe an 8. They're really cute. They're really good looking. definitely a solid 7. So if men think that you are, above average in looks, they know that you curb men, right? They feel it. So really, a lot of men just don't even bother. This is why a lot of men are just walking away from this shit. What do you think, my brother?
I think that I was raised by women, and women aren't dumb, and I just don't understand what's going on. Where what you don't know, for you to even ask that, it's like the stupidity of you to ask that question. Oh, well, why men not approaching no more? Duh. Don't you look on the internet? Aren't you watching the same internet that I'm watching? It's weird, and I just think it's weird. And at least that second woman seemed approachable. That first one, oh, she's gonna buy a dog. She needs to buy a dog. But the second one, she needs to smarten up and realize that men are not approaching because of all the things that feminism ushered in. So you probably, if you want any life, you got to get out. See, women want to stay in the past, but didn't have the future. How you gonna do that? How you gonna stay in the past and have all the? See, they want all the benefits of the past, but they want a future life per se, and that's not how this. That's not how this works. In my opinion, that's not how this works, man.
Evil Eddie, what's up, my brother? What's up?
Hello. Good evening.
What's up, my brother? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
What are your thoughts on the 2 clips?
I just have always found women date up in height, money, all that stuff, but then they don't seem to respect them, which always threw me off.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They definitely don't bend when they even get a chance of the top tier men that they want. And that's why no surprise that top tier men don't really settle or commit to women like this.
They say they want men that are leaders, but then the next breath they're like, but no man can tell me what to do. And that's always like been a bit confusing to me.
And that's why part of it is, again, this is why women make dating impossible for themselves. I've said this before, where you cannot, when it comes to women, you see women complain so much online. But this is the thing. Women are, in my honest opinion, 100%. I mean, it's either 99 or 100% in control of their dating. Because so whatever outcome they have in dating, I'm sorry, it's women. Women are the ones who have honestly made their own dating experience very hard. Because I've said this before, where women of all, categories have chances with the men that they want. The problem is you just don't know how to keep the men that you want.
I just think it's a laziness, man. It's like I don't understand how we became so lazy as a people. We're just lazy. We don't want to do nothing. You don't want to. You don't want to work for a man when he's trying to start his own business. You don't want to pay no. You don't want to do nothing. And I don't understand that. If you any relationship is give and take, any relationship, and for women to really think that they can just sit at home and sit on the couch while a man is dying, is crazy. That's wild to me, especially nowadays. I think men has finally started to smarten up. That's what I'm happy for. They're finally starting to smarten up and see that what's going on. See, they're not sugar and spicing everything nice, man. Not all of them. Some of them might be. Not all of them though.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's channels like this that are waking men up from the women are wonderful effect. And they're realizing that, hey, they're just regular humans. They're not anything special.
That is the key. This is what I want to do, right? I've said this before, where I'm not out to hate on women. No, I'm not out to hate on women. I'm not out to, put women down or necessarily disrespect women. I'm tired. And I've been there. I've said this to you guys countless times. on so many other lives, I've been the simp, right? I've been the fool. I've been the beta provider, fucking, you know, male before, right? Whiskey, my brother. You and your weird donos. I made a sausage and onion pizza from scratch today. It was thin crust, very good. Made the dough in a bread maker as a good takeout. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for the donation. What I wanted to do, right? One of my hopes with this channel is that it's not to hate on women, it's to show men that women are no better than men. Do not put women on a pedestal. Do not treat women like, oh, she's my queen, she's my goddess, she's the center of my world. No, that is when you have lost respect for yourself. That is when you have now become a doormat. That is when you are spineless, where now you are pretty much in a position where women will walk all over you. Women will mistreat you. And that's the thing. That's one of my main goals of this channel is to just have respect for yourself. Have respect for yourself. Stop idolizing women. Do not make women your weakness. That is it, right? That is my main goal, to hopefully get across that we cannot make women our weakness. It is dangerous. It is hurtful for us as men. Okay, we've been women have changed, so men need to step up too. We have been the world, right? Average men have been the world's workhorse. Okay, we have been shitted on by the world. We've been disrespected by the world. Average men. And now we got to change it up, because I do not want my brothers to be suffering in life. I don't. Right? I want us to be better. I want us to be happier. I don't want us to be depressed in life. You know, because we're seeing that a lot in younger men. A lot of younger men are suffering in life. So I wish that GR, what's up, my brother? What's up? I want that more young men, okay, will find channels like this. Will find a brotherhood like this. And I believe this, right? I believe this is a brotherhood with even like Red Door. You know, if some sisters come in, I'm down with that, right?
Yeah.
But I believe we're like a brotherhood.
Share love, not hate. I agree.
Exactly. And I want us to grow. I want us to be better. And that's what I'm trying to do. I love that. All right. Thank you everyone for joining. Please like, all right? Please like. It will be amazing. Helps the channel out. Oh, also join the Discord, right? Evil Eddie's keeping that shit alive. That man's amazing.
Trying.
Love you, my brother.
Back to what you're saying. There's a saying: if you put a woman up on a pedestal, she has no choice but to look down on you. That kind of stuck with me.
That's an amazing shit. That's an amazing saying. I love that.
And the strangest thing is that women respect and they like you more when you tell them no. They like you more when you tell them no. I'm saying,
Yes.
If anybody doesn't know that, let's say that right now. When you tell them no, it's just to find that balance of being stern but not being a dick. You know what I'm saying? If you can find that middle ground, they'll love you. Oh, they'll love you long time. They'll love you forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they respect you more when you tell them no. You be like, no. What are you talking about? You're talking crazy. When you tell them no, they like you more.
Yep, because they also know that you can say no to other women.
And they like you because and they like you because you have self-respect. Right? That's the thing. I think being able to say no shows you that you're more of a man. You're not a simp. You're not you're not someone who just bends to women's, demands.
Yes.
All right. Let's check on the next one. Exactly, PA. Exactly. All right. Let's check on another one. All right. Let's check on this one.
I know the men are going to get offended when I say this, but 90% of the time, relationships don't work out because of the men. And I ain't even trying to be funny. Like, us females, we're not perfect, but let's just be honest. 90% of the time, the relationships are not working out because of these men. They lie, they cheat, they toxic as fuck, they abusers, all type of shit. Like I said, us females, we damn sure not perfect, but let's just be honest. Men are the ones who ruin the relationships most of the fucking time. I ain't never seen it really. It's very rare that I see a female being the reason that her and the man ain't together no more. It's probably 10%. Like I said, 90% of the time it's the men, 10% is the females. Like, I'm just being honest. Men need to do better, literally. And that's why I always be like, damn, do they really even like women for real? Because y'all stay fucking up. Like, are any of y'all men loyal? Like, I don't understand it, you know? And it, like I said, it don't even just be the shit. It don't be like pieces of shit. Literally. It's like we get into relationships with bitches. Like, y'all be men, but y'all be bitches. So I don't know if we get a reflection of y'all mamas or what, but y'all be more of a bitch than we do. Like, it's sad as fuck.
This is why I create this channel, is to stop with this narrative, stop with this foolishness. Okay, because you gotta think 100% today, in today's age, 100% women choose who they get with. Women choose who they get with. Men don't force any man on her. All right. So are you kidding me? You chose those men. You chose said men. Okay. And here's the thing where this is the insanity. Okay. It shows you how lack of accountability women have. No accountability whatsoever. 100% blame on men. All right. She said it herself, 100% blame. All the faults of relationships are on men. Yet women constantly choose said men. Women constantly give kids to said men, give their body to said men. They give their youth to said men. Okay. No accountability for you choosing those men. You were attracted to them. You wanted them. Yet, no, it's men's fault. And let's say this, even cheating, men and women cheat by studies at almost the same rate. So it's not like men cheat more than women drastically. And this is absolute insane. As like, you know, this is why I find it such disingenuous and such disgusting, right? These narratives that it's always men's fault. And this is why I create this channel, because I've shown video proof of so many disgusting women in this, right? Women, you know what? 70%, and I love using this, statistics. I try to use this as much as I can. 70% of one-way domestic violence, right? 70% of one-way domestic violence is women against men. So women are actually abusing men more than men are abusing women. It's just the sad fact that, well, when men abuse women, you could see it, right? You can see the results of the men's abuse. But it doesn't mean that men are abusing women at a higher rate. Women are actually abusing men at higher rates. It's just that, you know, you don't see the results of it. And men are not, calling the police on that shit. So again, one of the things why I create this channel is that I have a catalog of videos of showing the disgustingness, the foolishness, the craziness of women, that a lot of women have done horrible things to men. A lot of women have horrible attitudes to men. A lot of women have treated men terribly. So this is the insanity of it. Give me a minute. Whiskey. I should have been a pair of rag. You and your crazy donos. Artie, what's up, my brothers? Handsome American, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, my brother. All right. You guys, what do you guys think? What do you guys think?
I just think what she's talking about, 90%, that's mathematically impossible. First of all, I don't even know what she's talking about. That's mathematically impossible. And I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. How many men is she dating? How many men want her? You know what I'm saying? Honestly, seriously. And I think that's the problem. Women don't know when a man is serious about her and just wants to use her. And if you keep on picking men that want to use you, then that's on you. They ain't got nothing. They ain't men in total. That's you. And I'm watching, like you were saying, I'm watching a lot of police cam videos, and I think it's so strange that a woman will sit there, stab, beat on a man, and he still won't press charges on her. Still won't. Still saves her. A lot of men have this savior complex when it comes to women, and they don't deserve it no more. I'm sorry, they don't deserve it no more. We're equal, so you be equal, in my opinion.
What do you think, Evo Eddie?
She probably dates guys that are cheating on someone, and then she gets shocked that she gets cheated on.
Yes. I mean, this is the problem. Women date Pookies, they date Chads, they date Tyrone, they date, the typical types of men that honestly, yeah, I agree. There are bad men out there. Plenty of bad men. Plenty of bad men. I've said this before. I don't support all men. I support good men. Okay? Because it would be stupid to think that all men are good. No, a lot of men are bad. But why do you think that most of the men that are bad never have problems with women? Most of the men that are bad, most of the men that are cheaters, liars, criminals, right? These men usually have a bunch of baby mamas. These men don't have issues with women. These men aren't, complaining about women or talking about women because they don't have issues with women. Women gladly, give cheeks to these men. So that's the insanity. Handsome, what's up, my brother? What do you think? Any thoughts tonight?
Oh, a couple. I mean, I think a lot of it has to boil down to the way women look at what leadership is. I think a lot of times they get it confused where, the brooding stoic man who rides off alone into the sunset on his motorcycle, they believe that man to be a leader. He's just an outcast. It's not leadership that he's demonstrating. And I think that there's this super refined mischaracterization of what they believe it to be, as if a true leader solves all your problems by taking you away from them versus helping to pull you through them. I don't know.
No, I mean, this is the problem where a lot of women, they can't be led, but they think that, they know what type of, and they can't be led, but they desire men that can lead. They choose men that honestly are not leader types of men, because leader types of men takes up responsibilities, while they choose the men that don't want any responsibilities. Choose men that would be deadbeat fathers. Choose men that would never want to marry them, right? Choose men that would never want to commit to them. Men that don't take up any responsibilities. So really, you choose men that don't want to lead, say that you want men that will lead, and that's the insanity of it. And be types of women that honestly are impossible to lead. So this is the problem where, women are insane, and women have made the dating market very hard for themselves. Right? And we have women like this. The one most important part is just no accountability, no self-reflection, no blame on yourself whatsoever. You just blame men. You blame men you chose also. That's the insane part. You blame the men you chose, not blaming you choosing them, but you blame the men you chose. And you put the blame on all men. That's why it's tiring. It's tiring stuff with women.
Yeah, I agree, and I just think that, especially like in American culture, well, in culture period, the barbarians have become the standard of masculinity, and they're really not. They're just the most savage, And I think that's something that is really in the brains of people, that they equate leadership with savagery, and it's not that way, really. You know what I'm saying? Most things are more diplomatic than that.
No, a lot of women have propped up the criminal mentality, which is kind of sad and telling. All right, let's go. Let's move on to the next one. This one is an interesting one, right? This one is an interesting clip that speaks a lot to, again, for women. You know, women don't. Well, let's play it. Let's play it, and we'll talk about it. It's movie stars too, so it's interesting.
I don't know if the audience wants to know our history.
Years and years and years ago, my career, I was after working, I had a job waiting tables from 11 at night to 7 in the morning, so I could audition during the day. Sometime around this time, I walked into a Taco Bell to get something to eat, apparently, and she saw me, said, "Oh, he's good looking," but he didn't drive up. And I need to be with a man at least driving up within some.
Okay, now I'm gonna tell my story.
This was a heel.
No.
I'm sitting like an audience member. I'm going.
So you got me like I'm the go bigger. You didn't drive up in any name. I have been taking the bus. I'm trying to save up for a car. I'm on the bus stop myself. And I'm looking at you. You were cute. You did look attractive. You came into that Taco Bell, and I'm looking for a marriage mate. So I'm riding the bus. So if we gotta go somewhere, I ain't even got no car. I can ride the bus by myself. But I'm going from
But I have potential.
I just want to show this clip in the sense that it's a theory that I have that all women, or a majority of women, they have met the men that would be good for them. Okay, they have met the good men. They have met, the loyal men. They have met the men that will marry them, the men that will commit to them, the men that will respect them. They have met these men. There are these men out there, but I believe a lot of women reject these men for whatever superficial reason they have, right? No car, you're not tall enough, you're not good looking enough, you're not wealthy, you can't provide for me, you do 50-50, you do coffee dates, whatever stupid reason women want to reject men for. And this is why it adds on to why I have, and I've said this before, I have zero sympathy for women when it comes to dating, right? I never say anything about other stuff, right? The women's blight and all the other shit, because I don't view that. But when it comes to dating, I have zero sympathy for women when it comes to dating, because women have all the opportunities. Women have all the options. At the end of the day, it's accountability. It's who you chose. So here's a woman that, she's a successful actress now, but she's been divorced multiple times. She's not married. She has no one. So here's a potential good man. Who knows if they would have, stand the test of time, but because through her own actions, right, whatever she believed that she should have done, which a lot of women are now just going about life, what they believe is right? So no one is directing women, no one's telling women what to do. Women's life is 100% in women's control, particularly their dating life. Women control their dating life 100%. So for, you coming out a baby mama, you're coming out a divorcee, you're coming out still in the dating market in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever fucking ever, right? However old you are, still dating, it shows you that, you made terrible mistakes. You are a red flag. You are to blame for your lack of success in the dating market when you have all the options. Because right here, this is a man that's a successful actor, a decent actor. He was one of her options. She just chose not to choose him. And this is the problem. Women have the choices of good men, of men that will commit to them, of men that will respect them, of men that will not cheat on them, of men that won't lie to them or abuse them. Women just don't choose these men. This is why I say, why the last woman said, 90% or whatever men is to fault. No. How is it fault when you pick the men? Right? When you pick these men, how are men to fault? right? You didn't pick the good men. You chose the men that you chose, and it happened how it happened. So at the end of the day, in my honest opinion, men are suffering, women are suffering, but sadly, it's women that are 90 to 100% at fault for how the dating market is, right? So what do you guys think?
Yes, I agree, and I say this, and I hope people don't take this the wrong way, but I say that most women haven't had an original thought since the 60s, and that's what it is. They're all going off of autopilot, what they've been told or whatever. They're just doing stuff, and half of them don't even. I know this from personal experiences, like talking to a female. Half of them don't even know what they're doing, why they're doing it. They don't even know that they're doing it. You have to put. That's why I say women respect men more. When they say no, when they call out their BS, call the BS out. That'll be my advice. Call their BS out and tell them no. And if they don't want to get down with it, they don't want to get down with it. Men have to be willing to let women go. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It's not no point of you sitting there trying to do X, Y, and Z for a woman who's not going to appreciate it. That's not going to help nothing. You sitting there, like wearing yourself down for a woman who's not going to appreciate it, and then that's not going to further us another. I want us to make it another 1,000 years in this civilization. That would be nice for me. You know what I'm saying? At least. And we're not going to achieve that if things keep going the way they're going. If men don't be men, I think women need leadership and men have to be men. And that's just what it is. And that's just what it is. The PC movement crippled us, in my opinion.
Okay. What do you think, Evil Eddie? Yeah. All right. Well, Handsome, what's up, my brother? What do you think?
Oh, well, it seems to me that once again, it so frequently comes down to who these particular women, these individuals identify as good leaders, and almost exclusively the types of women we're talking about when we look at those types of videos pick men that show them leadership in order to guide them in the wrong direction, in directions that are antithetical to the process of what they need to be doing in order to achieve what they want. And I think men don't quite understand why someone would go so far out of their way to work against themselves in such an endeavor. And the pallid frustration that I see in a lot of guys out there, I think a good chunk of it it comes from a lack of our ability to understand exactly why they can't just get to where they need to be, and hopefully under the leadership of someone who knows what the hell they're talking about. Like, no, we don't need to be going to the bar, and we don't need to have the $50,000 engagement ring. My mom personally, we don't need to start at the finish line. You're working at Taco Bell or whatever the story is. My dad bought my mom the ring she's got, and now they're quite well to do, 45 years later. That's the procedure. And I think it confuses me a little bit. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
Yeah.
No. What do you think?
Sorry, I was muted there. I was going to say,
good.
That joke, the husband store, where the woman goes to all the different floors?
Love that one. I love that one.
There's truth in humor, and that just shows that perhaps it's just female nature. And as Phoenix said, the women just need to be led, but they need to be led by good men. And that's my thoughts on that.
No, and that's the thing where I don't know. I think this is why MGTOW had came about, is that a lot of men just seeing that women are difficult right now. Women are extremely difficult. They're pig-headed. They're not going to listen to nobody. So a lot of men are just, they are standing back and just watching women, the world that women created, burned down around them, which is a sad thing. But this is the thing where a lot of men they're tired of it. I mean, because it's not like women are going to change or are ready to listen to men. They're not. So it just creates a situation where a lot of men are just, sitting back and seeing how things turn out, which is, it's going to be disastrous for a while. I believe things are going to get ugly.
Yeah,
If I could just add, I'm sorry, Evil Eddie, go ahead, bud.
I was just say I agree with DA. We're just stepping back and observing and letting them run its course, and then we'll be there to pick up the pieces and put everything back together as we do.
What do you think, my brother?
Oh, well, it should be said that, there are men out there, average dudes, guys I know, that have successfully navigated their way through this pipeline and found someone who, by all respects from the outside looking in, seems to be quite nice. Their relationships seem to be good. So, in these endeavors out into the world that I made, I had a date last night. It went pretty well. We'll see what happens, right? But like some of these dudes, they just get it. And it's the average dudes, like the top tier guys, the handsomest, prettiest fellas. They're going to get their dates, so they're going to have their options the way that they have them. But these guys I know, the guys like you and I, and they seem as happy as pigs in doing what they do day to day, just taking care of their families. And I wish that was more visible to more women, like these wives that are just happy. And, some of the wives work, some don't. It's just like an average American group of families, right? So I think it was worth noting, though. Like it can be done. Like these women exist, right?
No, I mean, I hope men don't be nihilistic. Right? I hope men don't just give up. Okay. I definitely want more men to focus on themselves, focus on their own happiness, focus on their own prosperity. Right. I mean, so many times my brothers are saying they're going to the gym. Amazing, right? Work out, work on yourself, work on your finances, work on yourself, right? It's so important. And again, this is why passport bros are a thing, because you know what? Open the world to options. So don't just think that, I'm not going to able to get nobody. No, that's, you got to work on yourself. You got to be someone that, that's worth, something, right? I mean, you don't have to be top tier man. Because there are plenty of women that are average women that will look past the superficialness, right? But you got to be a man that's worth it, right? You got to love yourself, because I think a lot of men don't really love themselves. A lot of men don't love themselves. They don't love much about themselves, okay? So to be, a man that's healthier, a man that's, more active for yourself, a man that has hobbies, a man that's do financially well for yourself, all those things are very beneficial for yourself, for your own happiness. Plus, it's a attraction thing. Okay, those will help women, have a reason to be attracted to you. So I want more men to not be so nihilistic, so hateful of the world, because you shouldn't, right? It's not. You don't need to, right? There are plenty of men that are doing well. I mean, it's just, just one of the keys. Like I said, I'm not making this to hate on women, is that I think part of it for men to do well is that you don't need, or you shouldn't put women on a pedestal. You shouldn't think women are, you shouldn't make women your weakness. Women are the most important thing. When I was a kid, when I was in my teens, all the times I think I need a girlfriend, shit like that. I didn't care about nothing else. I didn't care about my education, career, whatever. I didn't care about nothing else. All I thought about was women. And that was depressing. And that was not healthy for me. And that's the thing where a lot of men, we got to focus on, are we happy with our lives? Are we happy with ourselves? Because if you're not, why would anyone want to be a part of that? Okay. So a lot of us, we don't focus on ourselves, improving ourselves, being the best version of ourselves. So that is a detriment, so.
Yeah, I feel that, a lot of men have to be okay with working on themselves and getting to that finish line, and number one, and you pick who you want to pick. Men have to be okay with that. You know, missing out on women that they would go for while they're achieving their goals. We're going to lose. We're going to lose two to win one. And men have to have that mentality that we have to work on ourselves as much as we can, and that will come later. You know, that will come whenever. I make this point that Adam was on this earth for maybe like 400 years before Eve was even created. I think that says a lot. And I think that men need to just do what they got to do. And that Adam Eve even goes back to what I said about saying no. If Adam would have stepped to Eve and been like, "Oh, you ate that fruit? Sucks to be you." You know what I'm saying? Things might have been different. He might have just got a new woman. You know what I'm saying? Because he would have still been, you know, whole. He still would have been perfect in the eyes of the Lord, per se. You know what I'm saying? I think that is something that we need to know, that since women want to wait at the finish line, how about we get to that finish line and then you just pick who you want to pick. Deal with who you want to deal with. At that point, it's like what we have now is in reverse. You got men that got a little money, got a little this, got a little that at a younger age, and they're not going to commit. They're not going to. And these women are really foolish for even expecting them to. I wouldn't expect them to. A young person, if I was 21 and my parents had millions of dollars, would I commit to anybody? No, I wouldn't.
No, I agree. Artie, what's up, my brother? What's up?
I like
Any
what James
thoughts?
just said about Adam being around before he got to Eve. That's a good to work on yourself as a man before you even think about dating women. You gotta be someone of value if you're gonna attract someone of value.
I agree.
So that was a good point, Phoenix.
Yeah, it could. Well, let me put it this way. I guess I should put it out there into the airwaves. It should start to feel normal that people look at you funny when you go places because you seem to be the only one in a good mood. That's how you should be doing things. That's how you should conduct yourself. If you do things for which you should be proud, you will walk around happier. And that's outside of women or men or whatever you're doing. You just got to do shit that, sorry, language, apologize, but
no,
just do stuff that you're proud of, and good things come behind you. Now, I will say this too. It's not unremarkable or uncommon for a woman to think it's a little bit weird that you're in such a good mood. They're not happy a lot of times. They don't like to see that, man. Sometimes
women are suffering from high levels of depression. So
the narcissists, I think the narcissists, man. You can tell that video that we watched with the woman with the black, and she was like, "What makes a man think he? What makes you think you can even talk to me?" Narcissist. That's that. If a man said that, come on. I think that's the biggest problem. Women are able to do and say things that men are not able to do and say. And if we're equal, let's be equal. That's how I feel. If we're equal, let's be equal. So if you are if you're acting that way, you're a man hater. You don't buy. You know what I'm saying?
I like what Handsome Americans said was be alone and happy. I have a thing when people ask me how I am, I always go suspiciously well, and they always seem to go, what? And so yeah, making people laugh and just being pleasant and is a superpower for sure.
That's the thing where, again, I think channels like this, people like all you guys, is what young men need to listen to right now. Where, you know, we have a problem with a lot of young men who are misguided, who are unguided, and they don't think about, like I said, where I was like when I was young, just thinking about women. That is the problem. Okay, where we got to break out of that cycle. Okay, we're not happy with ourselves, right? A lot of these young men that are only thinking about women is because they're not happy with their life. They're not happy with them. And that's the problem. They have no focus, no goal in life, no nothing. So all they think about is women. And that is the problem with that's what's happening with a lot of young men. So yeah, I love it where if we can find happiness within ourselves, within our lives, it will only be a benefit if we get the one chance where we find a partner. It will only be a benefit. What do you think, Artie?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, my brother.
Oh, hey, what's going on, guys? I don't even know how long I'm be on, but yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I always said the number one issue with the men and women dynamic in the world or just the country itself is the standard. You know, I'm not saying that men have to adopt to a woman's standard and the woman has to adopt to a man's standard, but the idea that any woman you deal with or you meet is always going to constantly push her standard upon you, it just shows like the not the weakness in the woman, but it just shows that she's overly abundant in how she's going to approach you. So if she's going to approach you and make you bend to her will, fine, that is a viable way for somebody to go about it, you know. But as a man or any man that I know or any up and coming man, young teen or adolescent, any guy that I know, I would tell him don't bend to the will of a woman. And I forgot which one of y'all were saying, like even the story of Adam and Eve. Because I mentioned on my live yesterday that I seen a goofy ass pastor get online and say, all of this stuff is Adam's fault that we have all this sin going on in the world. And I'm like, well, hold on. If you're gonna bring up Adam and Eve's story, not only did Eve not listen to the order that was given to her, even though we can't say did it come from Adam or God, she ate the apple first, and then she convinced her husband to do it. So not only did she sin, she then enabled further sin. So, you know, we could say all this is on the man not stepping up and doing this, that, and the fourth, but there is no wording in that book to say he knew he was eating that fruit. You know, it's so many different complexities to that situation. But when you have people online spewing the wrong thing in a religious sense, that really it doesn't bother me because I don't really care about it, but it further leads the men that could be listening to me, you, or anybody on this panel astray because they're under the belief that everything a man has to do everything and he has to be responsible for everything, but then he has to, in the same breath, he has to fork over authority to somebody else. And if that's going to be the case, then women need to, if you're going to live by this, it's the old saying, if you're going to live by the sword, die by the sword, you know. It's like robbing a bank. If I told any one of y'all I need $50,000 cash within an hour, there's only really one way you're going to get it. You know, you're going to have to go hit a bank for it. And if you can pull it off, cool. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You know, you $50,000 richer. But if you fail, you know, you're going to be sitting in jail for a long time. So that's where women have to accept, you know, hey, I can get a guy to bend to my will. He may not be the guy I want, or, you know, I can try to get this man, this, you know, leader of industry, this leader of men to bend to my will, but he may just pump and dump me. He may just, you know, uh, what CJ would say, butter my tonsils and then leave me alone. So, you know, they have to make that judgment call too. So I just want men all around, the men in the comment section, men everywhere who's ever going to read, ever going to listen to this broadcast, do what's in your best interest. Get out here and become a leader for yourself first. You know, go in the direction you want to go in. If you have hobbies, do those hobbies. You know, don't fork over that authority to somebody else who doesn't have their best interest at heart. You know, I mean, it's like almost to the point I randomly if somebody's telling you to do something, you know, judge them on their merits. You know, hey, well, look, what does their life look like? You know, but that's how I feel about the situation.
No, good, awesome. All right, let's check out another one. Whiskey said, "Here's to women. Would that we could fold into her arms without falling into her hands." All right.
Sound like whiskey been drinking whiskey.
That boy is always saying some crazy ass shit. But I love him. I love him. All right.
All right, I might have to take my own advice because right now I am so frustrated by the fact that like I can't see anything more with this guy I'm seeing. And he's a great guy. He's a great guy on paper, great guy in person. And I just don't understand why I don't see more with him. Like, what made me want to see more with my exes? You know, like, it's so, I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but it's so frustrating. Like, he's a great guy. He's like such a good guy. And it's like, and then I don't see more with him. It's like, why? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what is wrong with me. All right, I might have to take my own advice because right now I am so frustrated by the fact that like I can't see anything more with this guy I'm seeing. And he's a great guy. He's a great guy on paper, great guy in person. And I just don't understand why I don't see more with him. Like, what made me want to see more with my exes? You know, like, it's so, I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but it's so frustrating. Like, he's a great guy. He's like such a good guy. And it's like, and then I don't see more with him. It's like, why? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what is wrong with me.
So this is, again, this kind of supports, you know, the theories that I have and some of you have had too, where this is the problem with a lot of women, where at the end of the day, they are their own worst enemy. Women are their own worst enemy. Because I said this, okay? There are men out there that women can find. Men that, like she said, right? Good on paper, or he's a good guy. He will be respectful to you. He would love you. He would commit to you. He would provide for you, whatever. The problem is women don't want these men. I think the crazy problem is that because of modern day women, they are bored with these men. These types of men that, you know, would be good on paper, they're boring, right? These men are not, you know, they're not your typical, let's say, bad boy or your Pookie or your Chad or whatever. Because the good men, they don't know manipulating, right? They don't manipulate women. They don't know how to, you know, give women the spark. They don't know how to make women, be. I believe women are emotional creatures. Since women are emotional creatures, one of the big things to get to a woman's heart is to incite her emotions, right? To make her feel emotions, to make her feel very, you know, excited with you. Because I've heard this thing by a very, you know, the player, right? The guy, a player, saying that a lot of their tactics, right? It's like a skill or some shit where they try to get women to like him, and then they say bad things to a woman. So so these guys would disrespect the woman, or, you know, insult her or ignore her, right? Just so he get an emotion out of her, which is essentially just manipulating her in a way. But this is how a lot of these men, this is why we don't hear top tier men. We don't hear the Pookies. We don't hear the Chads. We don't hear the Tyrones. We don't hear the players, the bad boys complaining about women, because they know how to go about women. They know how to get women. They know how to handle women. They know how to make women fall for them. And this is the problem where a lot of, you know, this is why we probably said that, you know, a lot of young men, I hope, right? Men, the majority of men, or a lot of young men, don't try to change into the bad boys or shit like that. Because honestly, I mean, if it's not you, you know, don't change into it, right? Don't change into the type of men that have no moralities, no characters, no principles. You know, what is better is that, you know, you focus on yourself, right? Be the best version of yourself, and find a woman that likes that type of person of you, right? That likes the best version of yourself. Don't be the man that, you know what, you can manipulate her into liking you, right? You can, try to get her emotions to, you know, fall for you and shit like that. Because it's, to be honest, it's like, I want to promote more men to live by, you know, a sense of standards, right? A sense of morality. Because again, these types of men that would try, because again, like she said, her exes, right? Most likely her exes knew how to manipulate her, knew how to get those emotions, those chemistries, those sparks out of her. While the nice guy, you know, he probably just knows how to just do regular shit, right? Talk to her, get to know her, that's it. Not try to use some crazy ass manipulation tactics to get with her and to get her get her excited about him. So, you know, again, this is why a lot of women will fail in the dating market, and why, you know, you hear the saying, right? Why nice guys finish last, because after she's been ran through by, you know, the bad boys, the players, the pookies, that's when she now realized that, oh, liking these men that manipulate her emotions, liking these men that, you know how to get her riled up and shit like that is unhealthy, right? It's not healthy. And these men are, you know, not leadership types of men. These men are not stable type of men. So, you know, that's when she later on in life, when she figures out, oh, you know what, maybe I should change the types of men I like, change the habit, and like the good guy. But for a man that's on his journey to be the best version of himself, he will realize that. He wakes up from that delusion. So he doesn't know that, you know what? No, I'm not going to deal with women like this. I'm going to shift through the women that will be smarter earlier on. Okay. Not wait until these women are, you know, 30, 40, 50 and shit like that. Now they're smarter. Now they realize, you know, their mistakes. No. So again, it's to make men smarter, make men wiser, right? The problem is not being naive to women like this. Because if she didn't want you when you were a good guy, okay, now that she's at her, you know, youthful prime, right? Her youthful prime, she didn't want you now. Well, she's not gonna get you when she's like 30, 40, 50, shit like that. No, because you have self-respect. You love yourself. You care for yourself. So that's a big important thing. What do you think, my brother?
No, I really I wanted to say that I'm not no monk. I am far from a monk, but it things are better when you are unattached as a man. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? When you're unattached as a man, you can kind of do what you got to do, move how you got to move, take the time. You know, you can separate your time the way you need to. When you're dealing with a woman, that's like a child. That's another mouth to feed. You know what I'm saying? That's like resources being taken out of your pockets. It's a lot. So we have to deal with that. And I think that more women need to start being asset instead of a liability. They just need to. That's the only way. You know, I was watching this video and this woman was saying that in the future women are going to have military, marriage, or the insane asylum. That's what they're going to be left with. They pick one of those. And before it gets to that point, I think that we need to start working together. And that's the thing. Like you say, I'm not here to bash no women. I was raised by women. I love women for real, for real, for real. But the craziness needs to stop at some point, you know. And I just feel like that I have a son, and I don't want to leave him to a burning building, like Martin Luther King said. I don't want to leave him to a burning building. So if I can talk, if women have to hate me for my son to have a future, I'm down with that, you know.
Hey, I just wanted to say this, and then I'm gonna hop off real quick.
All right.
You're absolutely correct, and I'll where I place the blame for women like her and so many other millions of women is squarely at the feet of the church. And the reason why I say that is because the church sold out umpteen million years ago, and they're at the start of all this. You know, we all come from different classes. We have different parents, ethnic nationalities, races, genders, stuff like that, right? The one thing that we all universally have in common is we all been to a church, whether we was young, old, 20s, whatever. At some point we were in a church. Most of us were young. And in the church, they don't teach women how to uh how to be under the control of a man, although they want the man to lead. And that's why I say the responsibility has to be placed solely on the church, because the church will have millions of women pouring year after year, sitting up there with kids from 50 different people, and they'll be on the church, they'll be in the church, actively in the church and all that, but they won't teach these women how to be under the leadership of a man. And the last point I'll make on this is this. Um, because the church doesn't, because the church sold out with marriage laws and stuff like that. See, the fact that there is a marriage law, that is the thing that that's the what do you call it, like the safety pin in the woman not having to obey you. See, without a marriage law, without financial gain, you have to play the game fairly. And it's kind of like when you're playing any video game, some players may have the power ups, they may have all the extra points and stuff like that. You have to play the game fairly. And women don't have to play the game fairly, because they know once they get on paper for marriage laws, um, they can pull it whether they're at fault, the guy's at fault. And I'm not saying who's at fault, but I'm just saying the fact that the woman is there and she can behave how she wants, because she knows upon exit there's a community for her. Upon exit there's financial resources for her. So like I said, the church is the number one person to blame. They will never teach the woman how to be under the leadership of a man, and because they don't, they lead them out here to their own devices. And in that woman's case that we just watched the video on, she mentioned it. She said there's nothing wrong with him, he's a great guy, he's this, that, and the fourth. See, that feeling that she's chasing isn't a real feeling. But where the guy that she's dealing with messed up is because he may be not telling her, hey, that feeling that you're chasing, where I have to be give you this feeling, that's not in the Bible nowhere. And that's another reason why I say the church absolutely is ground zero of where all this BS between men and women start. Because the church doesn't tell a woman, hey, you're not here, your husband is not here to make you feel a certain way. That's what a hobby is for. That's what guys have hobbies. We can hop online and play Madden, we can play video games, we can go work on cars, we can go race dirt bikes, we can go play paintball, we can do things to get around that. But when we're home with our women, we relax with our women. We touch our women, and we eat food, and we do all that. But women just seem to think that the guy is supposed to be that thing for her, and it's never supposed to be that. But women can't get along with each other for longer than 5 minutes so that they can have hobbies and actually genuinely have connections. And there's very few women groups that actually promote that. Most of the women groups is always infighting, because they're always judging each other. But we don't judge each other. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have hobbies that none of y'all have, and vice versa. But we are here to enjoy what we're doing and what we're trying to pursue. But women aren't like that. You can't have a panel of women because they'll always end up in infighting, or they will always end up reverting to the authority of whoever's the highest in the room. I mean, I don't want to throw names out there, but you look at like the Tonight's Conversation. They have different men and women on there, but then all of a sudden it's a scandal with the head guy sleeping with different women, on the panel. And it's like, women don't understand it. Hey, listen, life is for the living. You're gonna have to find hobbies out here, Bernie Mac would say, quit crying, do some damn push-ups or something. It's not me. I'm not here for my wife's like leisure time, like playtime and fun time. Like, I'm much more than that. You know what I mean? She needs to figure that out for herself. Now I can try to help her and we can do things together, sure. But if that's not the case, then hey, get with some other married friends and figure some shit out. I'm over here playing Madden. Don't get mad that I'm playing Madden or something like that, because you have no mental outlet for stimulation. The guy can't be stimulation. I mean, I wouldn't that's just false on so many narratives. First off, the Bible ain't said, so God didn't even put it on a man to do that. And second of all, how's a man going to be stimulating for a woman? He's got work. How am I going to stimulate my woman, mentally, to get her to get that feeling when I got work? I just slaved away, in a factory, or slaved away on a real job, crunching numbers all day. I don't have time to come home and put on a circus outfit and entertain you. You know what I mean? Like, they have to figure that entertainment part out for themselves. And until the church, I said it here, until the church fixes this, which they never will, but until the church fixes this and teaches these women that your husband is there for much more than your entertainment. That's what Madden is for. Go pick up a controller, go, play double dutch outside, go crayon, go do whatever, go play paintball, go do something, go figure something out. But your husband is not there to just be your stimulating outlet. And that's the reason why so many marriages fail, because the husband gets in there on good merit. Hey, I love my woman. I got my extracurriculars over here with DA. We're having fun. I work, I take care of things, I fix stuff around the house. And then after all that's said and done, she doesn't get this feeling no more because, I didn't watch the episode of Bachelor with her. And it's like, she's got to figure something out. She has whatever her home, whatever her job that you have her doing, whether she works or she does something with the kids. Okay, cool. After that, what does she do? Does she like to paint? Does she like to entertain with friends? Does she have a hobby? Does she want to do something computer related? Does she like to draw? Does she like anything, knitting clothes, stuff like that? And that's really the basis of, and this is the very last point, and that's really the basis of my argument, because you take marriage and men and women back as far as you can take it to the Bible days, where you had a man and woman working literally like farmers or like the Amish do currently. The man works on the field, the woman helps with more non-physical duties in the field, and that's what they do. Outside of that, when they're done, the man has hobbies, maybe working on something, trying to upgrade something or fixing something, and the woman has hobbies, something to do with the kids, something to do with knitting, something to do with community and stuff like that. That's how it's supposed to work. That's the enclosed circle. That's how it's supposed to work. Everything has a place in that system. But then we get in the system we have today. Now everybody's got a cell phone. So now she got a cell phone and she realized, oh, well, Cardi B just got a $300,000 car for her, for her birthday. And my man makes a good bit of money. He ain't bought me a Beamer, so what's the issue? What's the holdup? And that's where women are gonna selfishly fall on their own sword. But hey, at least it's their own sword they're gonna fall on. So if you want to live by the sword, die by the sword. And if you want to be out here being single, running around, just getting used and abused out here, I guess have at it. That's all I can tell you to do is have at it. But a man is not going to do that. And it's even more pressing when women are older, because now you want somebody 40, well established, like a real go-getter and stuff like that to do it. And then he's looking up at you and you come with kids, or you may be out of shape, or you have lots of debt. He's like, man, listening to a woman is not what God expected man to do. And a man is definitely not going to do it when he's not even getting the best out of the woman. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to be younger to get that favor that you're really looking for. You're going to have to be younger to get it as a woman. And they just push the clock back, push the times back, and then they, end up hitting that brick wall and it's all over. But shout out to y'all, shout out to DA, shout out to everybody on the panel. Shout out to y'all. Anybody who's in the comment section, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe on the video. That is very important for this message to get out. I'm tired of seeing too many videos where people have subscribers and they'll have views, but they're not getting the amount of likes. DA has said it, I'll say it for him. Please like the video. Shout out to every other content creator that's here. Keep pushing on with the message. Yeah, man. And I'll see y'all in the next one. If anybody's up later, I'll be on 10:30. And yeah, just go have fun. Don't let any of these women drive you crazy. Don't let them give you gray hairs when you're 30. Go conquer the world, and a woman will be there. She ain't got nothing else to do because she ain't playing Madden. So she literally don't have shit else to do. She'll figure out something. She'll be there. But that's all I got to say. Love y'all.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Artie. Thank you, Artie. Later, my brother. Eddie, any thoughts?
Back to the video. I think she was just frustrated because she's with a guy that she knows she's supposed to like, but because of her past experiences, she just can't be attracted to him, and that's basically it. That's my thoughts.
And that's probably part of the lot of women don't realize. I think this goes back to, a lot of times women prove men right. While men talk about body count, it's not necessarily that men, want to control who women have sex with, but women don't realize the more men you deal with, the harder it is for you to deal with the next man. Okay? Because now here's a woman that probably dealt with plenty of men, but now she's always comparing the next man to the last man that she couldn't even make a relationship work with. Again, this is the issues with a lot of women that are facing, and they are the problems with they are the root source of their problems. Handsome, what's up, my brother? You any thoughts?
I mean, I do. About the video, I agree with Evil Eddie. I mean, she says she doesn't understand why she doesn't like this nice guy that she should like. And it's easy to say, oh, she's full of crap. Like, she definitely knows exactly why. But what if she's really just telling the truth? She's been taught her whole life by something she knows nothing fully about. And so that's why, you know, what's been mentioned before, it's important not to lose or try to become the person who's the man who could just have the women he wants and discard. Because once that happens to you, you lose the ability to see the type of woman who's going to do these things to you, because that's just who you deal with. So when you become this high value man, you understand what you don't want for sure, but how are you going to recognize it when you see it? So I think rather than, you know, just say these generalities like women do this and they don't do this, you know, we end up in the same position because of men doing what they do as well. That's part of the reason that we don't see the responses we want as, I don't know, non-alpha type guys. I don't know who we are, but, you know, to blame the church. Well, first of all, I'm a numbers guy, so I hard disagree on blaming the church exclusively like I already wanted to do. That is, first of all, statistically, that assumes all churchgoers, 100% efficacy, which doesn't happen. And second of all, there's plenty of those problems within the church with women abiding those rules and then in a clandestine affect going out and disobeying those rules. So anyways, in regards to the video, I think maybe she's telling the truth. She might actually be frustrated. She doesn't know why. All of her friends are saying the guy is great. She just doesn't get it. Kind of makes me feel bad for her.
No, I mean,
Definitely
this is
feel
the
bad
problem.
for her. She literally doesn't understand why she doesn't like this guy she's supposed to.
No, but this is that is the problem where
seems like she really wants to like him to me.
Yeah, I mean,
she wants to.
Yeah, like I always think, what woman wouldn't want a good man, right? A man that would love her, respect her, treat her well, you know, would be there for her, would not cheat on her, would not lie to her. Women want that. Yeah. But again, I think women have, honestly, a lot of women are on a path that is very self-destructive. A lot of women,
they want it, they just don't know how to get it.
I'm not saying that they don't know how to get it. I just think that they don't know how to feel about it. Okay, because women can get it. I think women can get it, but the problem is that women don't know how to feel about it. Right? They don't know how to feel about oh, this man is a good man, but there's no spark, there's no chemistry, I don't have feelings for this man, you know, and that's the thing where
he's too
women
stable.
Because like I said, women are on a very self-destructive path right now, where they are, because of their, again, to a lesser extreme, you know, the high body counts, the, you know, indiscriminately having sex with any man and all the men that she finds attractive, the, you know, the ideas that, if men don't measure up to certain kind of high standards that women have, she doesn't want him to. So all these ideologies that's being pumped out to women, honestly, it's hurting women. Right? I believe it's hurting women, and it's not making women want good men or be attracted to good men. So it is a problem.
Yeah, I just want to say that I don't blame the church exclusively. I blame the leadership of the church, because I personally feel that feminism is against God and nature, or whatever you want to believe in. Feminism is against that. And the church coulda, woulda, shoulda fought it. and they didn't because they wanted a tax-free existence. They wanted a tax-free existence, and they chose that over the population. And I think that's what I feel personally. You know, I won't blame them as a whole. I'm not blaming the people sitting in the pews, but I am blaming the people sitting up on the whatever. I am blaming the leadership. I do blame them personally because feminism is against God. Who?
No,
I think so.
I mean there are plenty of I think there's a bunch of it's a kind of like a domino effect. So there's a bunch of things that have led to I think the problems that women are facing right now. So and it's because of the problems that women have created or are suffering from. Men are suffering from it as well. So it is it is a shitty thing.
I'm not even religious. I was about to, well, not no more. I was about to go to seminary. If anybody knows that, it's like Bible college. Like that's where you be a priest at, not even a
Wow.
minister, a priest. And I read it first. I read the Pentateuch and it messed me up. Okay, I read the Pentateuch, the first 5 books, and it messed me up. And from what I read and for what I know, feminism really is against nature. It's against it's foreign. It's like it's not what people think it is.
It's a cult.
It really is. Really is, in
Oh,
my
can I
opinion.
say it on here? Oops, sorry.
No, that's fine.
It really is to me.
I'd like to hear something from Poor Man Gold.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Poor Man?
Here we go.
I don't even really know anymore, man. I just don't know. Just what you call it? Just thinking what country I want to go to. Not for relationship, not to live there, just for relationship. So yeah, that's my
You want to
thoughts.
experience other cultures. I get it.
A lot more than culture, Eddie.
No, I mean
Fair.
always have a bigger options. Have a lot of options.
Yeah.
I definitely support men to have more options in life.
Yep.
Berlin, what's up, my brother?
How you guys doing? Great conversation that you guys are having, and I was kind of thinking that I guess there's 2 waves, right? It's those who are dating in order to eventually have children in so-called marriage, and those who are dating because they want to get laid. And I think we have to be kind of honest about those 2 different camps. And for the men who are just dating, who just want to be laid, I don't think that's really dating. Or I think we need to come up with another term to maybe even tell women like, hey, I'm only in this camp. I'm not dating to lead to marriage. I'm not dating to start a family. I'm just dating to get feminine energies that are green and kind of keep it that simple. Like I'm dating to get the good energy I'm dating to see how you make love. I'm dating to see how that's what I'm dating for, to see how different women give me that energy and how I manifest that energy into my own life or my own art. And then the men who are dating to try to have kids, and maybe even a marriage, then that's different. But I do think that we've seen enough examples that for men who want to have children, I think we have to start looking at women differently and start looking at women. If you want to have children, you might need to get a woman who your family knows and her family knows you and likes your side of the family, and you guys come up with a deal where she's a surrogate and gives you 2 children and you just pay her out. And I think that's the most logical way. I think that's the way it's going to be in the future. If your family has a lot of money and you know a family that doesn't have a lot of money, and it doesn't matter if you're sexually attracted to her. Now, if she's got good genes, then take your fatherhood and your own responsibility with the women in your side of the family. Because a lot of times people will say, well, she doesn't have a mother. It's like the same thing that, when women don't have I'll find a father figure. Well, I'll find a mother figure. I think that we have to start looking at it like that, because there's more safety in that. There's more Because you can try to co-parent healthily, hopefully, if this woman is not batshit crazy, but she still has 50% of the custody. She still has 50% of the indoctrination, and she might indoctrinate that child into a whole bunch of stuff that maybe you as a father don't want to be a part of. So that's why I'm thinking that in the future, because again, I'm all about solutions. The most logical thing that I think I'll tell my son, who's 6 right now, when it's time for him to have kids, I'll tell him, make enough money so that you can just go ahead and get a surrogate, and then your mother's not going to get isolated if there's a breakup. I'm not isolated. Your sister's not isolated. We raise the children as a family, as a tribe. And I think, unfortunately, women have shown over and 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 over again that this kind of power is not well suited in their hands when they have the government on their side. To ask them to be a rational co-parent person who doesn't get her feelings in it. If the man cheated, does that mean he should see his kids less? Most women will say yes. And so it's like, okay, you don't understand this at all. You're thinking, well, he cheated on me, you shouldn't see your kids that much now. Then you're using his kids to punish. So we have to take the power out of their hands. We can't argue with them anymore about what their power should be, because they don't want to give it up. And if they do agree, more than likely it's a lie. So again, I'm all about solutions. What I'll tell my son is, nah, if you find a woman that's willing to give you children, maybe you got to go to a poor country, have children with her, take care of her there, then bring your kids back to your country. If that's what we have to do, I think these are the avenues we need to start looking. And does anybody on this panel disagree with that?
I love it. And it's true that men are about solutions. This is why you see it with all these, men's, groups, MGTOW, Passport Bros. Men are making solutions, because honestly, to deal with the women that men are having to deal with, at least a lot of the women, men are stepping away. Men are finding other avenues to, find whatever kind of solutions they can find. So I that's why I do love current men's ideology, because a lot of men are finding solutions or trying to bring up solutions. I love it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the statement Broke made Berlin made, because things are just sad to say. I agree with the fact that they're not going to come up both anything. They can't handle power. I agree with that. They cannot handle power, and they're not going to come up off of no power. So we might have to go around them. And if that leads to another country, if that leads to if that leads to me going to the projects to find a woman, whatever, or the country, whatever, then that's what I got to do. What a person needs to be doing. We have to kind of leave these women to their own destruction, because that's what it is. It's destruction to me. So we have to leave them to it.
No, you sir, you have to leave outside. It's not about going in the country, because she still has the resources to do what she needs to do. You have to leave the country. The same way I would tell handsome American, because he's a Caucasian male. He might need to go get a child in the Philippines, but let's say he only wants to have a children with someone else who's Caucasian. Okay, then you need to figure out how to maybe take your father, because he's American. You need to find a country where your father rights as an American are stronger than they are inside of America. So he should be maybe coming here to Germany, or he should be going to places here in the EU where his father rights are stronger. But if he wanted to get a surrogate, then you need to make some money and find some poor family that's in, damn near a white war-torn country, and, figure out a way to get a woman to get you 2 kids there, import her into your family, and if she starts acting crazy, you have it where you can send her right back. And that sounds cold, that sounds fucked up, but that's just the truth of it, because we as men have to start protecting it's global. It doesn't matter if you're black or Asian or white. Women are fucking over men's fatherhood. So that's what. And for you, sir, you being a black American man, you need to. It's not about not getting a woman out of the projects or getting a woman in this country. You have to go. So you have to go to places where men's fatherhood is completely protected. So either you're thinking Muslim countries, or because again, when the breakup happens there, the kids go with the father, or you need to come to the EU but at the same time, the best you'll probably get is 50-50 custody. If you want to actually have full autonomy of your fatherhood, more than likely you got to get like a woman who's African, where when she starts acting different, you can send her back. And I think that, as cold as that sounds, that's the only solution that I see that makes sense. Because I think that most men would rather have their fatherhood how they want their fatherhood and not even doing the 50-50 custody. I think most men would rather have their fatherhood, have the women who are in their lives step up and take that motherly role, and then that man just gets to be a father. I think that's what most men would actually prefer. But maybe I'm wrong.
You know, I want to answer this question that Whiskey has, right? Whiskey said, why do men want or need kids? I don't think men need kids, but I think a lot of men want kids. I think it's a sense of duty, right? I think men are more logical, right? Men are more logical, and men see that how the world is. I think men, and you see it for statistics where a lot of men, single father homes produce more productive adults, right? They produce more productive adults, less adults with mental disorders, mental instabilities, while single mother homes, they produce more criminalities, more dysfunctions, more just terrible future adults. So I think a lot of men, see, I think biologically, we all have a desire, a need to reproduce. It's something within us, right? It's just nature. But along with that is that men do have a desire to contribute to the world, to contribute to the society, to, produce the next generation of, future whatever, right? Better adults, good adults, stuff like that. So I think it's more of like a sense of duty. So a lot of men think like that. So that's my opinion.
The same thing he would ask a woman. Why do women need or want kids? It's why do human beings want? It's a human trait.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. If it wasn't so much of a financial component that comes with it, I think most men would want to have children. It's just dealing with the women part that kind of scares them away.
Well, China has new robots that apparently you can incubate human fetuses in, so things may change.
That's some crazy stuff.
It's not crazy. We've already been programmed for it for the last 30 years. We've already had that. Hollywood's already kind of shown us this, so it's already been a reality in this matrix that we're just not aware of it. That they've been doing. They've been already. The people who have the elites have already been doing this. So it's just now up to us to catch up with how they move. If you had $250 million in your bank account right now, would you want a monogamous relationship? Probably not. Like how? No. So it's very important to live your life as if you have that $250 million, and then try to be like, okay, well, what's my morality now? How would I treat people? How would I be? Do I want to have? And if the case is I would not be monogamous, I would want multiple women, then you need to go ahead and be honest with that woman and say that that's what you want. You need to go ahead and try to live your life with that, because I asked myself that question. If I had $250 million, would I even want a woman around me that much like that? No, I got fun to do. I got $250 million. Like, and if I had $250 million, would I just use women for their fun time and good time? Probably. Probably, absolutely. So why? Because I don't have that $250 million, well, I'm going to go ahead and just be with one woman, and she's not going to be as nice to me as if I was, and I'm going to listen to her shit and take some of her verbal abuse because I don't have $250 million. No. I'm going to move as if I have $250 million at all times.
I get that. I get that. I don't disagree necessarily, right? I do say that, this is why I do say for men to be the best version of themselves, be on their journey to be the best version of themselves. So they have the ability not to take up the bullshit that a lot of women, put out. Right? If you are at the best version of yourself, you are not desperate. And that's one of the things why I want to create this channel for, and why I want to push this message, where I don't want men to be desperate for women. I don't want men to just honestly always think about women. That is when you will deal with anything if you can get it. So that's what a lot of men deal with.
But do you want to be the best version of yourself, or do you want to be the most comfortable version of yourself?
I mean, I think that, in my opinion, that would be part of it, because best version of yourself is not necessarily the best man, but it's just you're happy, right? You're
No. The best version of yourself might be the most stressed out version of yourself, because you're on this journey to become the best version of yourself.
Well, for me, when I say best version, doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a millionaire or whatever, top tier man. I think a lot of men, we put so much high expectation on ourselves. That's also a dangerous thing. That's also a dangerous route. Where for me is like, are you happy with your life? Are you content with your life? Do you like your life? Right? I think that's a big tenet that a lot of men don't realize or view about their life.
I know what you mean. Like, some people will say, like let's say you have all your video games, and you got you got a few girls that you're kind of cool with, and you get sexual play from them, and you're not really working a lot. You're just kind of existing, and you have that pattern. It's very comfortable. I would say that you're living the best version. I would say that you're winning. But some people will say, well, no, you need to get a bigger house. You need to grow up. You need to become the best version of yourself. And then that person does all that, and then they realize they're not happy. I think a lot of times it's very important to kind of find your balance. And once you are receiving good energy from this matrix, or once you're receiving good energy from this life, I say stay with that and ride it. Like, once shit's working out for you in a very comfortable and great way, a lot of times we're programmed as men, like, oh, I got this good thing, now I got to do all this other stuff to keep this or make it better. Like, no, once you have that, just keep that and try to let that stay as long as possible.
No, that exactly. This is why I try to promote something different than the typical male content creators that says that you need the 6 figures, you need the 7 figures, you need the what you see as success. To be honest, success is that you are happy with your life, you are comfortable with your life, right? Just like
yes.
Justin said, all right, you're happy, you're carefree. I mean, for me, one of the tenets why I want to what I believe of being the best version of myself is that I'm not stressing about shit, right? That's one of the things where I believe as the happiness that I want, right? That's the best version of myself, where I'm not stressing for something. I like my house, and it's not a mansion, right? I'm not looking for a Lamborghini and shit like that. So that's where I think one of the things I want to promote is for men to be also realistic, where, it is true that not every man can be a millionaire, but every man can find a sense of happiness, a sense of contentment, a sense of comfortability. So any other thoughts, my brothers? All right. Let's try another video. Let's check out another video. Let's see more women complaining.
Yay.
All right, let's check this one out.
They don't want a damn thing. They don't want a damn thing. I wish all of those men would remove themselves out of the dating pool. all the men who don't want anything, remove yourself. Please remove yourself from the dating pool because you're making it more toxic than it already is. If you don't want anything, you're not trying to date, you're not looking for a girlfriend, like some of these men literally, they have no desire for anything. They're not trying to hook up, they're not trying to marry, they don't want anything. But they're out here in pursuit or asking for numbers in DMs, pretending as if they do want something, serious or not. And the whole time they literally want nothing. It's just a game to them. They just want the chase. They don't actually want anything. So get out of the dating pool. You don't want to date. You want a friend. So go to the friend pool. The dating pool is for people who are trying to date. I wish men who didn't want.
Now, I just wanted to show this is that a lot of women don't really realize that at the end of the day, it's just still it's who you choose, right? It's more like I think all these videos, right? All these videos just show me, and it always shows me this, the lack of accountability among women. You know, a lack of accountability is so important, right? What you do in life, your actions, right? Your choices. Because here's the thing where a lot of women don't realize that you may think that these men don't want nothing. And I think the men that actually don't want nothing, you know, they are out of the dating pool. But the men that think these are a game, they may want something, they may not. But at the end of the day, you still choose these men, right? You're still interested in these men. You're still attracted to these men. So this is why, you know, at the end of the day, where I say that a lot of women are, you know, they are confused themselves, where I find women just have a different set of priorities, okay, where they are easily manipulated by these men that just want to play games, all right?
And they have different personalities that have different priorities.
Yeah.
They really do.
And that's the thing.
They have the diva version of them that has different priorities. They have the version of them that didn't have a father that has different priorities now. They have like the Jezebel version of them that has different priorities. And you have to understand that women have multiple personalities. And no, I think the moment you understand that, you actually understand women better. That sounds nuts, but once you realize, like, oh no, I'm talking to a different version of you right now.
I've dated women that literally said that. You're talking to, like, I'm Emily now, and it's like, okay, you just have to roll with it.
Well, at least she was nice enough to give her a different name and like a different, so you could know.
Yeah, she was very
at least
smart.
She self-diagnosed herself that much.
Yeah, exactly. She was very smart. And she was like, I don't. Sometimes it's like I'm a different personality. I've just called this one Emily, and it's like, okay.
I was like, at least you figured out your personal traits. No, I mean, we're joking, but that's easier to deal with and figure out than the woman who doesn't know this, and you know.
Well, certainly easier to figure out than a woman that doesn't recognize that it's not the men who are being rewarded for being these types of men who are going to stop. You need to stop. How have you not learned to recognize these types of examples of men yet? You don't tell a dog to sit and then not give it a treat, right? Like, that's how you get it to do what it wants or what you want. So if you just keep sleeping with these dudes, like what? They're going to just stop out of the kindness of their heart. No, thank you. For a cheap steak at Outback, I can take you home and have sex with you, or bedroom fun with you, or whatever. They're not going to stop. These are the facts. It's a fact of life.
No, they're not going to stop. It's personal responsibility. That's what I talk about. Personal responsibility. If everybody had personal responsibility about their own stuff, things would go better. We would live in a better world. But they want to take no accountability. And like I said, we have to step back and watch them destroy whatever they're going to destroy. and whoever they're going to destroy. Because we also talk about men who are raised by single mothers who have a certain mentality, and they not even looking around and seeing what's going on in the world. That's what kills me. You know, I'm traditional, but I see how things are in the world. I see how these females are acting. So why am I going to? I'm not going to play my role when she's not. I'm sorry. This is how I feel. I'm not going to play my role and be a traditional man and you a modern woman. It don't work like that.
Or who told you that was your role in the first place?
Mm.
Like, did you have any say so in what it and how it is that you're supposed to love a woman? Did you say that? Well, when I love a woman, I want to protect her and provide, or was that role given to you by society? I've loved women, and I've never once thought, well, I love her so much, I need to protect and provide for her. I really haven't.
No.
I just never. That's never crept into my. I've always said that that's your father's role. Like your father and your tribe is supposed to do that for you, and I'm just here, and I enhance certain things in you, and sure, but me coming to take you away from your family, no, I don't want to take you. That's not my role. Why am I supposed to take you away from your infrastructure? No, stay in your infrastructure. They love you more than I do. They've known you your entire life. I'm brand new. So stay in your infrastructure. Why am I trying to take you away from this? If we have children, then you and the child stay in this infrastructure. And then when the child is with me, I show them my infrastructure. But society has taught us that, no, we're supposed to protect from what? Other men. Well, if that's the case, then she needs to stay with her infrastructure because that's her family. And I'm a new man. And maybe I need to go inside of her infrastructure and protect her. And provide. Well, protect and provide. Provide what? Well, then her family and her infrastructure is supposed to provide for that. But since we have broken families in a capitalistic system in America, that's why these women expect us to do this, because they haven't formulated the connections with their own family. They're not close enough with the men in their own family to have covering and have an infrastructure because of their behavior. A lot of times women, if you speak to them, you'll find out they've cut off all the men in their family because of their behavior. The men have cut them off. Well, if that's the case, why are you trying to deal with her? These are the men who have known her the longest and supposed to love her the most. If she doesn't have love from the men in her own family, man, don't step in it. Don't. It's a landmine.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that why you're supposed to meet the parents before you commit?
You're supposed to meet the entire family.
The entire family. Wow. Okay. That's a good point.
Yeah, no, because that's her tribe. Whether it's a shitty tribe or a good tribe, that's her tribe.
Cousins, uncles, aunts, everybody. Right.
Yes. All the people who so-called love her before you stepped into the picture. Because you shouldn't take her away from that love. Let her flourish in that love. You just come be a part of that when you want to be a part of it. And if you want to build inside that love, then fine. But that love stay. I think we've made a mistake as men of taking women away from the people who so-called love them the most. No, let them stay there. And we come in. We're supposed to be the gypsies. We're supposed to be the ones. We're supposed to be the men who with the RVs and traveling. No, we come in and we exist a little bit, but then we keep moving. That's the nature of man. Then we're not supposed to be in a household with women like this, and that's where all the arguments and all the trouble occurs, because we're not supposed to be in the house with them anyway.
Well, you're blowing my mind.
Let them have their nest.
Data. Yeah.
And I think most men would be happy with that level of freedom.
Well, it's not uncommon, and most places in the world do it like that. That's how it happens. Like with my history, I happen to have been to some of the places you mentioned, like South Japan, Philippines, India, Afghanistan, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, like these places where, when you have a baby, the neighborhood has a baby, right? Everyone's there to look out for the kid. It doesn't matter who it is. Now, in a lot of instances, these places were kind of like war ravaged type places where like you don't know when the men are coming back at all. But that's why they still do it that way, because it's tried and true. You know, the community comes together around the families and protects them, and the men do what they needed to do.
The village
Still
or
do.
tribe raises the child. That kind of thing.
Right, like Native Americans did it the exact same way. Like there was no dad sitting around the wigwam, you know, reading bedtime stories. They were
This would
doing other
be-
things.
Red Door Woman would have great input on this, as she's
Right.
Native American.
And of course, I'm being mildly offensive because I don't know the right way to say these things, but I know that that's a community effort was done, and a lot of that had to do, I think, with the way that they travel and navigated migratorily. But
You're not being incorrect, and I'm indigenous. I'm from a reservation in Oklahoma. This is why child support and family court systems don't deal with indigenous religions. That's why they're. If you have a child with a woman who's indigenous, the family court and court systems they don't deal with you, because all that goes to the tribe. The tribe supports her. She has her infrastructure. The government is actually outside of that. So you're absolutely correct.
And that's also the thing where it gave men more opportunity to do other things that would benefit the family structure instead of just focusing on purely raising the kids, because again, it was a community. You had
not
other
just men,
people to
women
help.
too.
Yeah.
Women have all sorts of help in that scenario.
Yes.
They can go out, they can have days off all the time. That's what they do. A lot of times women just have days off. They take a day and they drink tea and have a walk. You know, like there's a whole community there. It's easy.
Yeah, because the overall goal for the tribe is to regrow the tribe. They don't care about the idea of monogamy and marriage and all this other stuff, because the tribes have been so desolated that all they care about is, hey, if you're a Native American man and you want to have kids with a Native American woman, sir, go nuts. We need
those are
numbers.
important kids, yeah.
Because the tribe has been desolated.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to have, unless you want to have a bunch of mixed, which is fine in the tribe. If you have a kid with a white man or a black, but if you're a Native American man and you have the skills to impregnate in Native American women, they're telling you, sir, please go nuts. We won't punish you at all. We won't do any of this. Well, you need to give half of your money. No, sir, we'll take care of the tribe. We'll take care of that. You just keep growing our numbers. Because they don't believe in abortion like that in indigenous tribes. So if a woman gets pregnant by a Native American, the tribe will do everything they need to do in order for this woman to bring this child into term, because they need the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They're also quite familiar with what struggle actually means, and what it takes to actually get by versus the things you want to get by with. So
true.
Yeah, Red Door Woman just posted there, if you saw it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
why.
there it is. Thank you.
yeah, like we have modern women, you know, the instances you see, especially these individuals on TikTok, you know, they're complaining about the price of bottled Evian. Meanwhile, there's Native American women squeezing water out of cacti right now, you know, like just to have something to drink.
True resourcefulness.
Circumstances are different for different people, and I think a lot of that gets lost.
Yeah, we lost the plot with how, you know, community was with you know, with people, and we've lost a lot of sense of community. So it is a sad thing where we are now.
I think it would be hilarious, but I think it's actually a solution if a bunch of men just started going for Native American women. No, I mean,
no.
I'm down. I'm down.
No, I mean, because again, if the goal is picking a woman that's going to value your fatherhood, no matter what, when the breakup happens, and not play these sorts of games with you, then the community I would say is the most aligned with that is Native American women. So if you're a man in America and your goal is, if you're logically like, look, more than likely, I'm not going to grow old with this woman. More than likely, there's going to be something that happens, some sort of breakup. Then the woman you should be picking is the woman that doesn't put you aligned with the family court system, and the woman that doesn't use the family court system and the child support system. Well, the only women that don't use that system would be Mormon, Amish, and Native American women inside of America. It doesn't matter what religion you are. If you're inside of America, most women are going to turn to that system.
True.
I'm learning so much. That is just amazing. I'm gonna have to do my research on this now.
Yeah, it helps to have been around the world a little bit in my instance, but these are cursory examinations, not in-depth introspective looks into myself, looking outward into these communities. But you definitely see that it works the way that it happens in other places, anyways.
Here in Canada, we have strong Native communities, but I've always been like the outsider looking in and never engaged with them much. Sometimes when I work for the government, we meet with them. But what I'm learning from Broken Berlin, that's a perspective I'd never even considered.
You should definitely consider that the indigenous women in Canada got fucked over. I'd say almost worse than the ones. Well, no, I'm not gonna say worse than the ones in America, but damn near on par.
Yeah.
They got I mean, they were still getting castrated in the 50s.
Yikes.
And getting so I mean, so it's if you go into that community, understanding their plight and wanting to rebuild their strengths, saying like, hey, then you'll get all sorts of not just resources but love, because you took the time to understand their story, not you having to come to them and, hey, tell me your story. No. If you already took the time to understand their story and learn some solutions to make their situations better, and you bring those solutions, they'll reward you. And the way that they will reward you is very logical. They know what men want. You are a good man. You don't have a seed? No, I don't have any children yet. Then we'll take care of that. And they will actually break it down to, you're doing all these good things for us. Do you not have children? No, sir, I don't have any children. Really? Here, boom, problem solved. And that's exactly how they would approach it.
So Broken Berlin, are you really in Berlin?
Yes.
So but you're a Native American?
Yes.
What tribe are you from?
My father is Blackfoot and my mother was Creole and from Louisiana, but they're mainly Hopi from Oklahoma.
So what do you do in Berlin?
I'm a father.
Congrats.
But you work in Berlin, right?
No, I don't work. I live off the system. I have 2 children here.
Oh, born there?
Yes, I have 2 children who are half German and half American.
Oh, that's cool, bro.
And because I'm American and because we won the war here, if you come here as an American and you have 2 children here and you stay, you get a whole subsidy. You get a whole bunch of benefits.
Bro, making the system work for him. That's
yeah, socialism is amazing.
A lot of guys never make it home from Ramstein Air Base.
Yeah, because if you leave here and you have kids,
into Germany. Yeah.
If you have children here and you come back to America, you lose damn near all your rights to them. Yeah. So that's why. But if you stay and you're telling the government, no, I'm staying, not going anywhere, the same way that they're supporting the people who are refugees, they support you, but you get more because you're an American.
Why? And so in Germany, if you're American, they'll give you benefits.
Absolutely, sir.
Only if you have the kids.
No, not only. I had the benefits before I had the children.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't. Were they substantial enough to support the kids?
$1,000 a month? Yeah.
Oh, I guess
so. Just an American man could go to Germany and get welfare from Germany. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
More than a German could? A German man?
No. A German person would get more because they've been pouring into the socialist system longer. But the American man would come here and get more benefits than the refugee coming from Syria, or even the men coming from African countries.
Right. I mean, but you're able-bodied, right? You could work.
Yes, but so are they.
It's just making the system work for him, right? I mean, people do that all over the world. I've heard it so many times where, let's say, a lot of people who, went to the UK to do the same thing, just to take advantage of their system, right? Their free healthcare, whatever. People do it all the time. People do it in America. Plenty of people are able-bodied, but they still take advantage of the system. That is however it is, flaw or not, that's just the way it is. I mean, I say this at the end of the day, if you do it, you could do it. I mean, if no one is caring about you, if you're able-bodied and still doing it, well, if it works, it works.
Yeah. How else would I have a fatherhood where I don't have to work and I get to see my kids as much as I want 5 days a week? When me and my ex, we do our co-parenting without scheduling. We stay in the same village, and I can grab one if my son's getting on her nerves. She knows that no matter what, I always have the time to grab the children. How else would I have this level of fatherhood without having to work?
What do you do all day?
I sport, I read, I do whatever I want, and then I pick up my kids from school, have them, and I sport with them, and then send them to her, and then that's it. I'm essentially paid here to be a father to my children.
I think in what Jack asked here, this concept is foreign to us because we're just told from like primary school, you must work or you're useless.
No, the government does that here. My kids will never starve. They have an infrastructure of for 5 generations of wealth from on the German side, on their mother's side. So their grandparents are loaded. They have a house and they also live in this village, and the socialist system makes sure that my kids' hospital bills are paid for, schools, everything. So my role is to make sure that I take care of the creativity and the happiness and the other parts of the children. So that's what I do, and I'm paid by the government to do that. Because that's what's most important.
Just doing nothing.
Did I say I was doing nothing? You asked me what I was doing, and I gave you 4 things, and you're breaking it down to nothing.
You're just raising kids. You're not working.
Oh, okay.
I think, he probably living the life where it's the more, what do you think, retirement kind of mindset where you're just enjoying life.
Yeah, essentially I'm retired at 43. I wouldn't be retired in America at 43. So no, I'm not working. I see my kids on a daily basis.
You're not retired.
I do whatever I want.
You're not retired.
And I raise my children. And there's rich people who have been born into wealth who have this lifestyle. I'm just an indigenous person from Oklahoma, and I'm experiencing this lifestyle. Why can't I?
Your occupation is
you're just not working. Retired means you had a job and then retired from that job.
Yeah, I've retired. Yeah, I've retired. I've been a bartender all my entire life, so I've worked my entire life until the last 4 years.
Yeah, but you're 43. You can't retire at 43.
Why can't I?
That's the thing where we gotta promote, right? It doesn't necessarily age.
I mean, I'm done working. I'm 41.
Yeah, I retired at 47.
But I live in America, so
Canada here. But
I know how to live in minimalism. I am perfectly fine living off the $1,400 I get a month from the government here.
Right.
Maybe you need to see Fight Club, sir.
That'd be a little bit.
I would assume with your name you've already seen Fight Club, but maybe you haven't seen Fight Club. Maybe you need to rewatch Fight Club and really analyze it for today's market in 2025. Because I think most men need to rewatch Fight Club. So I've realized I love the movie. I've analyzed the movie and I've put that movie into my life for what's the most important thing to me, which is time with my children. I see my children every single day. If I was working, I would not be seeing my children every single day. Plain and simple. So my only goal is seeing my children every single day.
No, that's amazing. And for me personally, I'm trying to work hard to, by 45, which is pretty, about a couple more years, I want to retire myself. So I think us as men working our ass off until we're, I don't know, almost like decrepit is not the best thing for us. right? I mean, it's not a good thing for us mentally, definitely not a good thing for us physically. So
Work
I
isn't
do-
bad though. Work is
I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
there's a
I
purpose to
retired
work.
when I put in my 20 years. You
Yeah.
know, like,
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
that's the
allowed
thing.
to retire. That's
No,
when they offer it.
and that's amazing. That's why, I think more men should try to do their best to. I mean, you want to secure a good future, but do your best to, retire as soon as you can. All right. I mean, living in life until you're, I don't know, in your later years and then retire, you're not living in a
Yeah.
life that you're enjoying that well.
But
in
I
my
don't
opinion.
think I could enjoy myself on $1,400 a month. Like you can see my light plug here is I'm in the middle of like remodeling
gonna-
my house, and it's
I
like
was going to mention that. Yeah, you
so like
need a plate
yeah,
on that.
well, all of them. If I showed you around the house, they're all off because I just painted this room. But I'm like,
That's
doing it
understandable.
myself.
That
You
just
gotta,
means
like,
you have
buy
more
all this
desires than
stuff
I
to,
have.
like, get it. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, that's true.
And it's the cost of
There's
living.
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to shame you for having your desires. I'm just letting you know I don't have those same
Well,
desires
like,
that
it's
lead up
not
to
really
those
my
amounts.
desire. It's just like I want a clean house that needs a fresh coat of paint, and like it's gonna
But it's the cost of
me.
living too. It's the cost of
Yeah.
living.
If I want a clean house, I'll clean. If I want to paint and do art, I'll do art. So there's no reason why I still couldn't do that with the money that I receive. It's not expensive.
No, that's the thing, right? We don't. I definitely support more people to travel the world. You can live on very little outside of the world because most people don't realize that. This is why, right? This is why passport bros are a thing too, where the amount of money that even the average man makes, you are the top tier man in other countries financially. So because it's just different cost of living. So that's why it's a great thing to understand how the world is. I definitely support that.
Things are cheaper in the Philippines, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's
Thanks for-
almost $8 for a pound of butter here in Canada.
$8.
$8?
I mean, it's Canadian.
I mean,
funny
$8,
money.
eh?
Yeah, $8, eh? So you're like,
Dude,
butter this month? I don't know.
90 miles to my northeast, butter's $8. Holy smokes!
No,
I
but
wonder
that's
what
the
it is
thing.
here.
No, it's odd. I mean, I don't. How did you end up in Berlin? You just said one day I'm going to Berlin.
No, I was in Boise, Idaho, bartending, and some German woman met me when I was in the hostel, and we stayed in touch. And then she flew me out here, and we started a family.
My brother, similar happened. He married a German that just showed up in Pemberton, BC.
Well, I didn't marry her. I don't believe in marriage, but so I actually got more father rights because I didn't marry her. If I had married her, I would be on the hook for more responsibilities. But because I didn't marry her, I actually, in a way, kind of beat the system.
Not bad, not bad.
Good for you.
I mean, I was in Germany. I was stationed in Aschaffenburg, Germany.
Okay, I have no idea where that's at. I haven't even learned this language here.
Right. I didn't either.
Guten Tagen.
How long have you been there?
10 years.
10 years?
Yes.
Not bad, not bad.
Do you travel a lot?
Before I came to Germany, yes, but once I had my children, my children were right before the pandemic, kind of, and it was just like I think once I had children, I was just like, I need to. When I broke up with my ex, I almost went to Brazil, right? And had I gone to Brazil, my whole fatherhood would have been fucked over. So that was kind of like a warning for some reason to me, and I was just like, no, okay. If I really want to be here for my children's adulthood, I need to go ahead and just exist and ride this wave and not try to do so much stuff that I used to do in my past, because my goal now is just to be here for my children's adulthood. So
I love that.
if that's my goal, then chill out on all the other shit that I used to do and just be.
I love that. I commend you on that. That's awesome, my
This
brother.
world's gonna be 25 years from now. This world's gonna be nuts. I gotta be here.
Mhm.
You know, I gotta tell my kids about the old school movies. I gotta tell my kids about the old school gyms that are in this matrix. I have to be here to counteract all the programming and bullshit that's gonna be coming their way. I gotta actually break down the original Ghost in the Shell movie with my kids as adults and really
Oh.
have them understand like what it is when women are trying to have kids. They're trying to recreate dolls. I have to be here to analyze with my daughter the movie Fight Club and kind of give her a female version of it to take away from her. Like, so I have to be here. So all the things that I used to do in my past that would probably jeopardize that, even dealing with women that I probably shouldn't be dealing with, I don't, because I know even having arguments or even bartending like I used to, I don't, because I'm putting myself in situations where dumb chaos can happen.
You know,
It's not my
I think Fight Club is a kind of an important movie for men, but I got my Fight Club experience when we were deployed to Iraq. So I was in combat. So
You were in the first Gulf War, eh?
yes.
Yeah.
So I was a medic. So I was in combat. So but I think men should experience some kind of martial stress.
Agree.
Either fighting or something like that. It's a life experience that makes you a better person. In some ways, makes you a worse person.
It's a simp vaccine. It keeps you from becoming a simp ever. It becomes impossible.
But it leads to you like you're drinking whiskey right now. Like it leads to you maybe having to medicate in a way that maybe isn't the best way. My uncle he taught me martial arts, but he also had a very bad drinking problem. Again, in indigenous communities, this has always been an issue. And even though I've been a bartender all my life, ever since I've stopped working, I haven't drank like at all. I just haven't had the need for it.
Yeah,
and I find that when I'm working, especially if it's a bartender, then of course I'm drinking. But if I'm not working and just kind of being, then I'm not. So I think a lot of times when we take on this inherent stress of work, we medicate in a way that is maybe a little bit destructive to our bodies. Whereas if I'm not working, I can just eat natural fruits, go working out, go hiking in the morning, I'm in a completely different vibration.
Stop? Where does the buck stop there? Someone had to go pick that fruit. What if they decide, like,
that's on them.
To be a father. Well, that'd be on you too, right? Because now there's no fruit at the store for you to eat.
No, if that were to occur, then I would just maneuver and pivot. But until that occurs,
would you pick the fruit yourself?
Would I pick the fruit myself?
Well, we've discussed a world where fruit pickers no longer exist. They've all gone home to choose the way of the Father. So no matter what you pay or how bad you want it, that fruit, it's not.
That's not going to happen. People are too addicted to the matrix to allow that to happen where everyone stops. If that were to happen, then I would maneuver and then I would change. But all I'm doing is just moving off of what's offered. This matrix is what this matrix is.
I do agree that, you know what, you just gotta, us as the individuals, we gotta figure out how to make this world work for us. All right, just make
I'm not mad at him.
us.
I'm just testing his theory out. Like I'm 100% with him. If you can make it work, take it.
Oh, I mean, what kind of fatherhood do you
men
want?
out there get sick of giving? It's okay to take a little bit. You know?
No, once you procreated, then what's important to you? If you do you have kids yet, American?
I don't.
Okay, once you have children, you start to maybe realize like all I really care about is being here for them. And if that's all you care about, and you've done your work for the last 30 or 40 years, then your alchemy is good. You've paid your penance. You've done your part. My alchemy is good with this. I've worked my entire life since 15 and traveled all over the world working. And now I'm done.
No, that's amazing.
So when Russia takes over Ukraine and moves into Germany or Poland, are you gonna
do I look like that concerns me, sir? Do I look like that? Do I look like that concerns me?
To go fight that war in Germany.
No, no, these aren't my people. Who are my people?
Guys like me, when they stop loss my ass and send me back over to Germany to fight whatever Russian general decides to be there that day.
They're not going to do that. But if they do, if the American government tells you that they're going to draft you and they're trying to tell you to go fight in a war in Russia, you have every right to move how you need to move and either walk away from that government or isolate yourself from that government.
Well, it's not going to be America that's fighting in Europe this time. It's going to be European countries.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's going to be people. When I say me,
I'm isolated from that, sir. I haven't even learned it. I haven't learned their language. I don't have a German visa. I'm not a German citizen. I'm still an American citizen. I'm still an American man. I'm still an indigenous black man from America, from Oklahoma. So no, their war does not concern me.
Okay. But what happens when let's say as a mind game. Let's say Russia takes over Ukraine, takes over Poland, and takes over Germany. What would you do?
Do you really think that Germany is going to get taken over when they have the backing of an EU system?
Yes.
No, sir, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
they have no military.
Germany has a huge military. What are you talking about, sir?
They don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Okay. Okay, so you're telling me that Germany does not have a military. So if we can pull this up right now and I show you that Germany has a military, what will you say?
They have a military, but it's not ready to fight.
Fight? Okay.
They run a decapitated structure. Like they conscript.
Okay, so if someone comes and tries to invade Germany, you don't think that Germany has enough allies to counteract that?
The only way.
That's why I said, what happens when they stop lost guys like me, bro?
Right.
They're not going to stop.
Yeah, I'm the ally.
What country are you from, sir?
I'm from the United States.
I'm talking about the one who's worried about being taken. What country are you from, sir?
Me?
Yes. What country are you from?
I'm from America.
Then they're not gonna grab you. It's an EU-backed system, so they're gonna go with the other countries that are already near here, meaning that they already have treaties with people from Poland and France and Netherlands and Switzerland. You're last in line to get taken. It's not even going to be some kind of draft. The military here gives so many benefits. The military here in the EU system gives so many benefits that they're going to go. The men are already coming in line to fight that war because the benefits that they get are not like the benefits that we get in the American system in the military, where you have to fight the VA system to get the benefits. Over here in the EU system, if you do military services, you get benefited out the wazoo.
All right, guys. Let's. That was an interesting conversation, learning about each other. It's all good. But you know,
to talk about that stuff man to man with people.
Once in a while, once in a while.
I'm not offended. I'm not offended.
Yeah, this has all been
they're curious about it and they wanted to challenge it, so I'm just giving them the information.
Thank you for sharing. You're very confident in your choices, and that was good to learn. I learned a lot.
I'm proud of you. You found
a way. Wow, he found a way through the matrix, as he said. I totally agree. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. But guys, I think that's it for tonight. All right? I think that's it for tonight. All right.
Like,
I hope you guys have a good night. I love you guys.
Strangling each other.
No.
Good banter around is all good.
Yeah.
But, we don't need to go on all night with it. All right?
No. Yeah.
I love you guys. Thank you. Handsome America, thank you for stopping by. Berlin, thank you. Evil Eddie, I love you, my brother.
Yeah.
Bars, love you. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you guys around.
Yeah.
See you guys.
We'll be around.
Later, Berlin, my brother. Thank you for stopping by.
See you, man. No problem.
Love you.
Man. Have a good. Hey, great conversation. Have an awesome night, man.
Thank you, man.
Mhm.
All right, guys. Poor man. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. Whiskey was here. Thank you. RM. Thank you, my brother. Red Door. Love you. Thank you for stopping by, my sister. Why, my brother? Missed you, I missed you. Thank you for stopping by. Anyone else? Justin. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for stopping by. Artie. Love you. All right. Anyone else? Totally awesome. Thank you, my brother. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the love. Thank you for all the support. You guys I love you guys, right? It was a fun, decent panel show. So it was a good amount of people joining in, right? I want to say that I want to do this more often, right? So most likely every Wednesday. Hopefully, if you guys like it, you guys join. That'll be fun. That'll be interesting. All right. I love you guys. On the view. Poor man. Yes. Too much. All right. I love you guys. Later.